Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how your reputation affects how people see you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. In each of the piles, we're first going to look at your reputation first, then we're going to look at how this affects how people see you so that we can get a full bigger picture of everything we see here. So for pile number 1, we have the Crystal Pyrite and we have the Crystal Magic Tarot deck. For pile number 2, we have the Amazonite Crystal and the Chrysalis Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have Orange Calcite with the Victorian Fairy Tarot. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Pyrite Crystal and the Crystal Magic Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to take a look at how your reputation affects how people see you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So with the Pyrite crystal you chose, Pyrite is a crystal of wealth. So people may see you and your reputation as someone to be very wealthy or someone that has an abundance mindset or, potential to create abundance within your own life. The kind of work ethic or mindset of being able to create that abundance for yourself. You could be seen as somebody that attracts wealth to you, seen as somebody that is a little bit more bougie or has a little bit more of an expensive taste or lifestyle. And for some of you, this could be some Leos watching, or people could see you to be in that Leo-like energy. Some of you could be seen in your reputation to be somebody that is comfortable with your light and your shadow. You're comfortable with your duality kind of aspects. You have a contradictory energy to you, a polarizing energy to you, where you're comfortable with your multifaceted nature, and people see that. Though some people may be very confused by it and label it as fake, but I don't think it's fake. I think you're just comfortable with the many layers you have as a human being. You may also be known in your reputation for being somebody that is into manifestations, crystals, spirituality, since this is a crystal magic tarot deck, and maybe some of you are known for your inner magic, known for being a very magical, celestial, kind of ethereal being. You could also be known in your reputation to have very beautiful eyes, a lot of wisdom, and a good intuition, a good sight for things. When how do I put this in words? When you set your mind on something, when you set your eye on the prize, you go after it and get it, and you attract it to you. You could also be known in your reputation to be somebody that sticks to things that you commit to. You commit to people that you love, and you commit to the things you commit to, like the goals and dreams you have. You commit to it till the end. And you could also be known to be somebody that is having very good values, and also you could be very good with your hands. Like I see some of you knit, some of you like to create things with your hands, like necklaces, jewelry. I see some of you like to do Reiki healings, where you work in the spiritual realms, or some of you do tarot readings, or kind of are known to have a big purpose or have a lot of talents and gifts. I see some of you are good at gardening or baking, cooking, anything of the sorts, or anything creative. You have a visionary type of energy to you, and you could also be known for always looking beautiful, for always looking put together and attractive. And there's something about your hands that also look very good, where people are very drawn to your hands. Some of you could talk with your hands, and some of you could be known for speaking multiple languages. Take it as it resonates. Okay, So I feel this is my pile of people that can get along with anybody. Like, you can talk to anybody and understand them, even if you haven't lived a life like theirs. So you get along with people from all types of different walks of life. I don't know why I keep slipping over my words. Okay, so spirit guides of pile number ones. May we please first look into their reputation. We're first going to look into your reputation, and then we're going to look into how people view you based off this, like how this affects how people see you. So spirit guides on my pile number ones. Spirit guides on my pile number ones. What is their reputation? What is my pile number one's reputation? We have strength with carnelian in the reverse. What is my pile number one's reputation? What is my pile number one's reputation? We have the Two of Swords in the reverse with obsidian. What is my pile number one's reputation? My pile number one's reputation, please. We have the Six of Wands with blue topaz. So what could be said in your reputation doesn't necessarily have to be true. Keep that in mind. We have the Nine of Pentacles with Budstone and the Five of Swords with smoky quartz. The Eight of Cups is popping out, and we have Justice in the reverse with sapphire. So if I need clarification, I'll pull more cards as I go along. Let me just analyze and reflect on these cards that you have so far. Okay. So I'm kind of hearing from Spirit, you could be known to be that type of person in your reputation that it's like other people view you in your reputation to be someone that like just gets things easily. You don't even have to try. You could have a reputation for being somebody that is a little bit indecisive, or sometimes you take long making decisions in other people's perspective, or this is what is said of you, or sometimes you make decisions very fast without thinking it through. So I think it just depends what you resonate with. I'm getting that your reputation is that you maybe never made the best decisions in your life, but that you've learned and grown from them. You've learned and grown from your mistakes, because I'm hearing that song by Erykah Badu called Didn't You Know? And she talks about how sometimes we in life can make the wrong turn, the wrong decision, when we're trying to decide which way to go, when we're weighing out our options. And sometimes we realize we made a wrong turn back there somewhere, but then we kind of like connect back to our heart so that our heart can guide us back when we stumble off the path. So I think people see you as real in some way. I don't think people judge you based off this, but we'll see more into how people view you. But I'm getting that people don't judge you off of this. People see you as human, and humans make mistakes. Humans stray off the path sometimes. Humans sometimes don't know which way is right or wrong for us. But when we can grow from our mistakes, when we can learn from our mistakes, find our own sense of truth, like, oh, that wasn't the best decision for me, but now I realize that this is better for me, then we grow as people and we start to learn about ourselves. I get here with obsidian. There's something about your reputation being very protected against all negativity. I think with the Five of Swords, some people have tried to slander your name or ruin your reputation through gossip and through speaking things about you that are not true, rumors about you that are not true. But I think your reputation is protected that whatever truths are heard about you that are not truths with justice in reverse, whatever lies are heard about you, people, I'm getting that people see clearly through it, like the illusion is revealed. People start to see your true character and who you are in your true essence, where that naturally just falls away. So if any rumor comes up in the surface and, people are talking about you like that, those that truly know you, know who you are, know your character, know your values, won't believe it. And those that choose to believe stories over asking you don't deserve a place in your life anyways. But I'm getting here with justice in reverse. It's like the truth eventually comes out. I'm getting that. Your reputation, I think, in the past was that you were so loyal, and you've always been a loyal and devoted person, that maybe sometimes in your connections, you went through certain connections where those people didn't respect you. Maybe they betrayed you with the Five of Swords, or they didn't treat you right, didn't speak to you in ways that you deserved, or, didn't treat you right. And I think you tried to stick with those people, and like in some way other people were looking from the outside, and that's why it's in your reputation, where they're like, why don't they just make the decision to leave already? Why are they staying? Why are they staying loyal to people that don't deserve them or respect them? Why aren't they speaking their truth with justice in the reverse? Why are they keeping quiet? And then it's kind of like you're so loyal and devoted to those you love that you try to make things work, that you try to heal the connection before you leave. But I think you eventually learned your lesson and learned to balance out those energies, and learned that that's not a bad trait, to be so loyal and devoted to those you love that you want to make things work. Because in life, we fix what is broken. We don't just leave what is broken to be broken over there. So I think it's a very good quality and trait to have. But I think you've learned that boundaries are important, and that it is okay to speak your truth, that it's better to be alone than be with people that don't allow you to speak your truth, don't allow you to be your true self, betray you and expect you to be okay with it. Apologize but never change. You eventually left those connections behind, developed more self-love, 222 on the clock, and you found an internal balance where you now are able, or you're learning to speak your truth. You're learning to balance that energy out and know where to be devoted to, where to not give up, and where to know it's like, okay, this is not going to work. It's not worth it. It's not worth my effort and time trying and trying and trying if this person doesn't want to change, or if this person doesn't want to respect me. I can't make them respect me. I can't make them love me. So I'm going to love myself and pour into me. And being alone is better than being around people that don't truly love me or respect me. So I see people like viewing you and your reputation like that in the beginning, and then it changing. I think people view you in your reputation. In the past, you seemed very, like, you had like some imbalances with justice reverse, but now it seems like I get the feeling that justice is up right now. And then with justice reverse, I get the sense that some people that betrayed you, it's like you never fully got your justice for it, where you didn't deserve it. It was like an unfair situation where you were a victim to your circumstances, I hear. In your reputation, you're a rare gem. You're seen as a rare gem. You're seen as rare. You're seen as gold. You have a heart of gold. And you're in it for the long run. In your reputation, you could also be seen as a very sexy person, sometimes too sexy, where you've had a lot of people be jealous of you or treat you in negative ways because of that, where you didn't deserve it. People almost view you as like this deer in your reputation, where this deer is like running away from the predators. And like there's all these predators around and you're not doing anything wrong, but things keep happening to you. I think some people misjudge you in your reputation and think that you have an easy life and everything comes easy to you and you're so perfect and like you're sexy, you're hot, you're talented, you're amazing, you have everything together, but then other people see it like you've been through a lot and a lot of it was undeserved, where it was not your fault. With strength reverse, I'm getting that you did find your strength and power from it, from these situations. They taught you your own strength and power. They taught you to not self-betray. They taught you your worth. They taught you to have confidence and self-love within yourself. But after the healing journey, I feel like you don't want to be strong and defend yourself. You're more discerning of who you let into your life right now, in your reputation, but you also don't want to be strong. You don't want to be defensive. You don't want to, and I'm not saying being strong is defensive, but I'm saying like you don't want to be strong anymore. You want to live a soft life. You want to feel comfortable and safe around the people you love, around your environment, in your body, everywhere you go. With strength reverse, I think in the past, some people saw you as weak. And I'm sorry, pile one. I don't like to give messages like that, but I'm seeing it. Why was that? Because you weren't speaking your truth. You know what? I've been there too, pile one. I've been there too, so there's no judgment here. And I don't think that's weak. I think you've just gone on your own individual journey in life and you've learned certain life lessons where other people haven't been in your shoes, so they can't judge. You could also be known in your reputation for having a really good fashion style, where even when you are dressed down, even when you're in comfortable clothes, you're extremely attractive. You could also be known in your reputation to either have a lot of success with the Six of Wands and Nine of Pentacles, a lot of success, self-made abundance, independence, or you have potential, you're on the path to going there. You could be known in your reputation to be talented, to have good grades, like when you were in school, or to just be very smart, know the right steps to take. You're known to like be one step ahead of everybody else, where people think you're going to make a certain decision here and you make the opposite decision. You are known in your reputation to take the path less traveled, the road less traveled. Now you're protecting your peace, I hear. Now you're seen in your reputation to be much happier than before, much stronger than before, but not really caring about your reputation too much. Like you live life on your own terms. You live life for you, not for others. And you're known in your reputation to be somebody that has grown even through extremely painful life circumstances. It's almost like you were a plant and you were growing and somebody pulled you out of the ground and threw you there. And people thought that this plant would never grow again. But then this plant started to grow new roots. So I'm getting that, people really put you down on your life, but you remain strong through any challenges that were seen to break you or meant to break you, but you grew through that anyway. It never destroyed you. It never broke you. I think that's what I'm seeing in your reputation. I want to pull some oracle cards for your reputation. So let's just do that quickly and then we're going to look at how people view you based off this, okay? I think people see you as a very passionate individual, very sexy, like I said before, a peaceful person, someone that believes in equality and fairness. You know, you stand up for others that are going through unfair situations too. And you could also be known to be a person in your reputation for being in touch with your heart space. People saw you as somebody that like had a dark cloud raining over you, but you learned to create the sunshine out of that anyways. So pile number 1's reputation. 2 cards, please, for their reputation. So we have the Swan with transformation, trusting the psychic gifts. We have focus. And we have the Hawk with omens and messages. So the butterfly with beauty is popping out, confirmation. With the wind fairy popping out, thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. You could be known to be very smart in your reputation, to be someone that really thinks things through, you know, before you just do, before you just go and do. Like with the Hawk, I'm getting, you see things from a bird's eye perspective. You see things from a higher perspective. You're very wise. And you're also very focused on what it is you do want. You live in your truth. You speak your truth now. And you're seen as an honest person. You're not a liar or a deceiver in any way. And some people have watched you like a hawk and tried to disrupt your peace. But you took that and you transformed from that anyway. And I was getting a phone call. Sorry. I see you as somebody that has like this type of energy of talent, of gracefulness, elegance, beauty, harmony, loyalty, devotion. That's how I see you with the Swan. So now let's take a look at how people see you based off this. Okay, how this affects your reputation. How your reputation affects how people see you, I mean. So how does their reputation affect how people see pile number 1, please? How does their reputation affect how people see them? Okay. We have Temperance in the reverse with torpedo lights at the back of the deck. So we have the 4 of Cups in the reverse with pink highlight. I heard no more. No more. Like, I'm not staying in situations that aren't good for me anymore. I'm not settling for less anymore. I'm not just sticking with people because I'm afraid to be lonely anymore. Like, I'm not taking the easy way out anymore because the easy way isn't fulfilling. I'm coming out of this place of being in this place of not being fulfilled and moving towards something else. Page of Wands reverse with appetite. We have the Wheel of Fortune with serpentine. 3 of Pentacles with chrysalis. The 4 of Wands with dendritic agate. The 10 of Swords with black kyanite. So my pile number 1s, we do have some extra cards that I'll add in a minute. So I'm kind of getting here, even here with the peacock feathers, like you're known to be somebody very extravagant and people see you as somebody very extravagant. Like, some people that are jealous may view it as like you're so perfect all the time. Or even if they're not jealous, like they just view you as perfect in some way. People also view you and see you to be somebody very fun to be around with the 4 of Wands. Like, you know how to have fun and you know how to celebrate life to its fullest. Because how people see you based off your reputation is you've gone through dark moments, you've gone through pain. They do see that, they do realize that, but you're not letting that stop you from experiencing the good moments in life. You choose where to put your focus. You choose where you want your mindset to be. And you have a deep hunger for more than just settling for less than you deserve. The Wheel of Fortune here shows a big change within the way people see you. People are now seeing you as somebody that has completely transformed their reality, stepped into their purpose of fate. People believe you have a big purpose or something big to share with the world. That's how people see you. And people also see you now as somebody that is celebrating that transformation you've been through. You're trying to create a healthier connection to yourself, your body, your mind, your soul. You're seen as very healthy now, with a healthy mindset, healthy outlook on life. You're seen as somebody that has taken that pain and formed it into wisdom. Again, the temptation energy is coming up, sexiness with a snake. Very juicy, very delicious. You could be known to be somebody that, and seen to be somebody that has big desires. And those big desires may not always make sense to others, but you live in your truth. You don't live your life for others, like I said before. That's how people see you. People see you to be somebody that has loyal and strong friendships in your life and healthy connections in your life now that you're now celebrating or you will celebrate in the future as a result of you going on a healing journey. People also see you as a very pure soul that didn't deserve any of the pain you went through. People see you as a great person to work with in a team because you're so smart and intelligent. And because you know where to put your focus, you're very focused in what you do want. I think people are seeing you as somebody that realizes that passion isn't everything in connections, because sometimes some connections can have high passion and high excitement, but it doesn't always mean that it's healthy. It doesn't always mean that it's good for us. And you've learned what healthy love does mean to you. So we have the Hermit in the reverse, the Chariot with Pyrite. Interesting, since you chose the Pyrite crystal, and the Ace of Pentacles with Moss Agate. You're seen as somebody that gets opportunities, that, attracts certain things to you, opportunities, people, money, and it just comes to you easily. You could be seen as somebody that isn't like introverted. You don't like to be alone. You don't like to go through life alone, and that's completely normal because, we're not meant to be alone as human beings. We're meant to be in communities. Our ancestors didn't move through life alone. They moved through life through tribes. You could be seen as somebody that, you like to have people around you. You like to have fun. You like to go out. You like to do things that are fun for you. You don't like to just stay at home and be bored. I don't think everyone will resonate with every message, but this is how people see you. Keep that in mind. You could also be seen as somebody that is learning to speak your truth again, learning to love time spent by yourself. You could also be seen to be somebody that sometimes overthinks a little bit, but you think a lot. you have a very intelligent mind and you think a lot and you have a lot of amazing ideas. You're a visionary, my pile number ones. But sometimes overthinking can get the better of you. I get that you're seen as such a pure soul, so angelic, so pure, like, but then so beautiful at the same time, on the inside and out. And you're seen as somebody that is leveling up, even though you've been through pain. You're leveling up. You're transforming from that. You're growing from that. And you're looking to the new beginnings instead of the past, of the pain. The past pain. Temperance in reverse could represent perhaps an impatience or taking your time to do things where other people would be maybe like very fast to take action. You take your time and really think about it first and really plan it out in your mind. Think about where you want to go first. Like I said earlier, you could have been known to be somebody that had certain imbalances, imbalanced connections, where you didn't necessarily have peace in the past, but I think you're creating it for yourself now. Let's pull your last oracle cards and then we're going to end off. So, how does their reputation affect how people see my pile number ones? So we have the bee with luck, industriousness, and sweet victory. You're seen as somebody very sweet because bees make honey. Like, you're very sweet, you know, and because you're very sweet, maybe you've had some people be deceptive towards you, but you don't let that get the better of you. You're seen as somebody that won't go down without a fight, because I'm thinking of how, like, let's say I had to attack a bee, it would sting me, even if it had to pass away, like, it would sting me. So, like, now you're seen as somebody that won't go down without a fight, like, you won't back down. And now you're seen as somebody that is victorious, that is successful, that is very happy. You're seen to be having this very golden energy. Like, you bring joy to those around you. And you know how bees like move together as like a community almost? You could be seen to be like a very community orientated person where, like, I'm thinking of like how if somebody attacks a bee, then the other bees go to attack that person and they have that person's back. They have that bee's back. So it's like you have other people's backs. You're very protective of those you love, and you're seen as very lucky. You're seen as somebody that takes whatever you have. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You know, when life gives you bees, you take the honey out of it. When life gives you flowers and bees, there's pollination and more flowers and more blooming. So what I'm basically getting here is like you take whatever you have, whatever resources you have, and you make the best of it. You have gratitude for it and you create more out of it. So how their reputation affects how people see them. We have the Fire Fairy at the back of the deck with creative action and optimism. People may see you as very fiery, very feisty, sexy, as I said before, victorious, successful, you know, a visionary, being a very optimistic person, even though you went through a lot in life. Very powerful too, authentic to you. We have burden. So I guess people see you as somebody that has gone through a lot of burdens. We have love in your relationships, but you're also somebody that loves hard. And we have the Frog, cleansing house, releasing emotional baggage. So you're cleansing away the past and releasing the emotional baggage of the past, and you're completely letting go of it, where you're stepping into this new paradigm that is much more luckier, that is much more full of love. Knowing what you truly deserve, knowing your worth, being confident in yourself, having that self-love, putting your focus on more positive things. So this is your reading pile number 1. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this Amazonite crystal in the Chrysalis Tarot, this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how your reputation affects how people see you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. As I tap into your energy, I feel like this very watery energy from this pile. You may be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but you don't have to be. But basically what I'm feeling is like this energy and connection to water, to the ocean. So you could be seen to be like water, like you're very flowy. You're someone that connects deeply to your own emotions. You could be seen to be someone with a lot of depth, where there's more to you than just your reputation, and people know that. And people are curious as to getting to know you deeper. They're very much finding you very mysterious in some way. Your reputation, you're seen as somebody that is very peaceful and calm. You have a lot of healing energy, and you could be seen as a healer in some way, or somebody that wants to help the world in some way. You could have gone on your own healer's initiation to healing yourself first and then healing others through that. You could be seen as somebody with this very big fate and purpose, because I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune clairvoyantly. And you could be seen to be somebody that has a picture perfect life, I'm hearing. But you've gone through many transformations, and this hasn't always been easy. You could be seen to be somebody like very ethereal and beautiful, like a beautiful soul, beautiful heart, and like this very calm, peaceful, harmonic demeanor and energy to you. And you also know how to see the light within others, see the beauty within others. You could be known to be somebody that sees life from a place of positivity. You've transformed your perspective, you've transformed yourself, and you've transformed your life. And you inspire others to change and grow too. You could be seen as somebody that goes with the flow of life, and you take things slow, you slow down, but you also are seen as somebody that has those calm waters. But if somebody gets on your bad side, you can let out that sea storm of emotion, and you're not afraid to express your emotions. Some of you could be seen as creative, putting all your emotions into creativity. Singing is coming up for some, and painting. You could also be seen as somebody very clean, neat, and tidy. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So now let's take a look at your cards. So how my pile number 2's reputation affects how people see them. You could also be seen to be somebody that is very generous to those you love, where you love to give them gifts. You love to show affection. When you love hard. We have the 4 of stones, the 4 of pentacles. So we're first looking at your reputation. So spirit guides of pile 1, please show me their reputation. We have the 7 of scrolls, 7 of swords. We have the 4 of mirrors, 4 of cups. We have the Ace of stones, Ace of pentacles. The visionary with the Knight of scrolls. The Sun in the reverse. Clarify the Seven of Swords. Psyche with the World. Okay. And then there's an extra card here with the Seven of Stones, Seven of Pentacles. And then at the back of the deck, we have the Dreamer with the Knight of Mirrors, Knight of Cups. So this is the Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. Okay. Okay, so your reputation shows that you've been through certain life circumstances that haven't been the happiest or the most joyful, with the Sun in the reverse. You could be known in your reputation to have gone through certain life circumstances that really made you have certain volatile emotions, like imagining a sea that has big waves and sea storms. And you could have been known to have gone through a phase of depression in your life with the Sun in reverse. You know, not feeling happy with life at some points in your life. But I feel you have turned this around, because when I was looking into your energy, people now do see you as a very happy person. So I think that's a past energy we're picking up on. You know, you went through a lot of sadness, and I think people see that. I think people felt very empathetic towards you. I'm almost getting like this fairy-like or mermaid-like energy from this pile. You're very ethereal and out of this world. And some people may have had false impressions of you, like kind of like projected things onto you that were not true, that kind of show up in your reputation today, but they're not necessarily true. And that may have affected your self-worth, the way you viewed yourself, your confidence in yourself. You may have been known to be somebody extremely unique and different in some way, where people made you see your differences and made you feel like an outcast. You may have felt extremely misunderstood in your life, like people weren't seeing you clearly for who you are. Like nobody truly got you or understood you in the past. And now the tables have turned. People in the past may have made you feel extremely clingy to those you wanted to be around, made you feel like you didn't belong there. Like, we're just very mean to you for no reason with the Seven of Swords. But it's because you have this very peaceful aura that, I don't know, like it sometimes irritated people because they didn't have that sense of peace that you have. And because you're so unique and different in your reputation, where it's like people saw that uniqueness and difference and tried to tear you down and tried to make you not see your worth, because they saw a lot of potential and talent within you that you maybe didn't see within yourself. They saw creativity within you. They saw this happy, positive energy. They saw your potential. And they tried to stop you from seeing it yourself, seeing yourself clearly. But now the tables have turned, where those are the people that are clinging onto you, trying to get you back in their life, but you don't want them in your life. Now, like, they're watching your every move. Interesting how things change, but I'm getting that. You're known in your reputation for being somebody that has like this siren-like energy, where you have this ability to lure people in. You're seen as very attractive physically with all the mirrors. And some people may have had misconceptions that because you're so attractive that you think you're better than others, or that you are vain with all the mirrors, that you like love yourself too much. And I feel like you are seen as a very quiet individual, quiet, shy, and timid, especially when you were growing up. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just your reputation, that people sometimes thought you didn't want to interact with them. But I don't think it's that you didn't want to. I think you were always in your own little world, and you were also going through a lot in childhood. I get you. Like, maybe you didn't have an easy childhood growing up, and you were just focusing on surviving. So I feel your reputation, a lot of people have false impressions of you where there's things they think about you that are not true, things they say about you that are not true. Some people think that you Some people think that you are somebody that's like a visionary, you dream big, you're a dreamer, you're someone with a vast imagination, with a lot of creativity, and you dream big, you shoot for the stars. And because of that, you go after those big dreams and wishes, and you totally believe in yourself, believe that it's possible. And as you do so, you grow. And that vision starts to become a reality. It starts to become physicalized in your reality, where people start to become very inspired by how you've transformed your life, by how you had the courage to go after something that seemed impossible, or how you are going to do that in the future. People see you as somebody that's going to inspire others, somebody that tests the limits of what we believe is possible. People see you as somebody that could have been like seen as very like emotional and timid and pure, and they didn't think that you were strong in the past. Like they thought you were a little bit naive in the past, but now they see you as somebody very strong because you dream big and because you believe in yourself and because you're not somebody that is shy of your own emotions. Now it's seen as a strength. Those that are emotionally intelligent see it as a strength, see it as something to be celebrated. And I feel like most people see it in a positive light, where they see you as a very peaceful individual that is extremely misunderstood, but is going to be a beautiful healer to the world. Someone that shows others that it's okay to feel deeply, because we're humans, we're meant to feel, we're meant to experience. You're known in your reputation for healing your self-worth, for healing your confidence, for finding self-love. Even in moments where it felt like life was against you. You swam against the tides when the tides were trying to push you down. And you grew through that anyway. People, like in your reputation, I see people see you as somebody that's constantly transforming, and you're letting go of the past. You're not letting the past determine your future and determine who you're going to be now. You're not letting things that are distractions get in the way of your dreams and your path. You're not letting people that are jealous of you tear you down anymore. You're seen as somebody that believes in the impossible, believes in the magic of life and the magic of you. So you didn't crack under pressure, my pile number twos. You became the diamond instead. In your reputation, you're seen to be somebody that has experienced a glow up and a level up in your life, where you've completely transformed and found the treasures within, found the treasures to life, or at least people see you finding that. You're not satisfied with just staying stuck in a place you don't want to be in. So you're creating a new beginning in your physical reality that you're happy with, that you're satisfied with. So I'm just going to put these cards more up so that we have space for looking at how people see you based off this. But I first want to look at the oracle cards because, yeah, I did that for pile 1. So, yeah, I really like your energy, pile number 2. So, spirit guides of pile 2. Pile 2's reputation, please. Pile 2's reputation, please. We have the Earth Fairy with physical health, grounding, and foundations. You're seen to be somebody that didn't go through the best of life circumstances. You didn't have a strong foundation up in the beginning, but you took what you had and you created a foundation out of that anyway. You rebuilt for yourself. You started over and you rebuilt. You let go of what was not serving you and had the courage to rebuild, to start all over again. You could be seen as somebody that now is extremely grounded. You've changed from being this very emotional, sensitive creature where you're still emotional and sensitive in a good way, but now you've become a lot more grounded. Now you've become a lot more focused on building your physical reality towards where you want it to be. So we have the water fairy at the back of the deck. You haven't lost touch of your emotional side, but now you're focused on building your physical reality to where you want it to be, following your visions, following your dreams until it becomes a physical reality. In your reputation, you're very powerful, okay? And you're also seen as very healthy in mind, body, and soul. You take care of yourself in mind, body, and soul. Pile 2's reputation, please. We have the novice with innocence, beginner ignorance, new skill without practice, and unstable curiosity. Even if you're a beginner at something, you have a big enough dream to be able to continue to focus on what you want, to continue to put in action towards it until it becomes talent, until it becomes something you can use. You're also known as somebody that has good communication, but you've had a lot of people try to disrupt your peace, and you're seen as a very innocent person too. A very pure person. Okay, you could be seen as somebody that kind of looks at life from a childlike perspective. You haven't lost touch of your inner child. Some people could see you as a little bit naive, but I don't think you're naive. I think you're just in touch with your inner child and that dreamer-like quality within them. I think you haven't allowed yourself to be what word am I going to use? You haven't allowed yourself to be conditioned by society to let go of our dreams. Because, when you become an adult in society, it's like we're conditioned to want stability and to want things for ourselves that we don't dream big anymore. We don't envision the life we want anymore. We don't use our imagination anymore. We don't use our creativity anymore, have fun anymore as adults. Sometimes we can forget about our inner child, and I feel like you haven't. So, spirit guides of pile 2. How people view them now, how people see them, and how their reputation has affected how people see them. The Ace of Spirals, Ace of Wands. Ma'at with Justice. These cards are not working with me today. We have Phoenix with Judgment, because they keep going to the side when I try to make them straight. 7 of Spirals, 7 of Wands. The Sojourner with the King of Mirrors, King of Cups in the reverse. And Gaia with the Empress. So, how people see you now. Let's just reflect on these cards. We have the 2 of Spirals, 2 of sorry, I'm just trying to look at this. I think this is the 2 of Wands in the reverse. I thought it was the 2 of Pentacles, but it's the 2 of Wands. Okay. You're seen now in your reputation to be somebody that has a very colorful personality. You know, you rise above what didn't break you and made you stronger. You now protect your peace, is what I'm getting. And you nurture yourself, you nurture your inner child. With the King of Cups in the reverse, people may see you as a little bit like emotionally imbalanced because of how deeply you feel. But I don't think you're emotionally imbalanced. I think they're just seeing you falsely. Do you know what my opinion of emotionally imbalanced is? A person that runs from their emotions, but that's my opinion. Because a lot of people in society run from their emotions and you don't. So it's like, because you feel so deeply, because you're so intense in that sense, it's like people have a false judgment of you. People see you as somebody very honest, truthful, and trustworthy. And yeah, like you're very trustworthy, you're very nurturing, kind, loving. You care for those around you, you care for animals, you care for children. Some of you may be mothers or fathers. Or maybe seen as somebody that would be a good mother or father, or good parent. And you didn't let the circumstances you were in get the better of you. You didn't choose to stay stuck in that, but you chose to get out of that situation. I think when I look at your energies, I think that people see you as somebody that, you know, like when you were in those circumstances, you didn't necessarily have a choice. You couldn't necessarily change the circumstance you were in, but when you had an opportunity to, you did transform and you did change that. When you had the freedom to make that decision. You learned to trust your inner guidance and overcome any self-doubt that prevented you from finding that freedom and liberating yourself from life's challenges. Now you're seen as somebody that, like, you'll protect yourself. You're not as afraid to stand up for yourself. And because of that, I think some people may have seen you as like emotionally unstable, but I don't think it's emotionally unstable to have that anger to defend yourself. Now you're seen as somebody that like fights for what you want in life. You don't back down. You don't let life just keep you stuck in a circumstance, is what I'm getting. And you create a new beginning for yourself. You create something new for yourself. You take what you have and create something new. You're seen as somebody very strong and resilient. And somebody that's also very protected. Where those that have wronged you are going to get their karma. You're also seen as somebody very sexy and ambitious. And you have this passion for life, this joy for life, this spark for life. And you're also seen as somebody that's protective over those you love. You also live in your truth, and you don't try to be somebody that you're not to fit in. You don't care about what people think. You could be seen as abundant in some way with the Empress, or you're on the path to achieving abundance from following your dreams and wishes and keeping that vision in mind as you follow those dreams and wishes. And you could be seen as somebody that doesn't mind being alone at times, like you enjoy your own alone time. feel like getting 2 more cards or something. The Companion with the King of Spirals, King of Wands, and the Sorceress in the reverse with the High Priestess. I think people think you're very wise. You're searching for spiritual answers with the Pilgrim at the back of the deck, Page of Swords. So you're trying to understand yourself better, trying to learn about yourself, learn about life, learn about relationships, what it is you want in your relationships, learning self-love, learning who it is that you are and who it is you want to be. And people see you as just like a very loving individual, somebody that would be an amazing companion to others. People would see you as an amazing friend or lover. And people also see you as somebody that's very curious. Where also like a lot of people have curiosity towards you and how you've transformed and how it is you're so strong and how it is you're so wise. But I think with the High Priestess reverse, I don't think people think it's spiritual. If that makes sense. Maybe they think it's just like the things you went through in life that you got the wisdom from. But I think this pile is intuitive. I think this should be upright. I think this pile is intuitive. But I think sometimes, like, in situations where you didn't know what to do, your intuition was telling you to, but you didn't know whether to trust it. Okay, let's move on to your oracle cards now. And then we're going to end off. So, how does their reputation affect how people see them? Forgiveness. You could be seen as somebody that has had people hurt you, but you're forgiving towards them. You don't let them back into your life, but you forgive so that you can heal, so that you can alchemize here with the Merlin. Alchemy, justice, balance. You're also seen as somebody very powerful with the dragon here. And you're taking what hurt you, taking the knowledge and the healing from that, the wisdom from that, alchemizing from that, and finding your own power. Justice is going to happen for you in the way that people see you in your reputation, where those that have hurt you are going to get their karma and things are going to be rebalanced out, where the truth actually comes out in terms of like what is actually true about you and what's a lie. That's what I see in your reading pile number 2. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this orange calcite crystal and the Victorian fairy tarot, this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how your reputation affects how people see you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. It is 3:33 in the clock as we start, which is really cool. I wanted to say, before we look at how your reputation affects how people see you, we're first going to look at your reputation. So I'm getting from these cards, like, you could be seen as somebody that is very harmonic, somebody that has a very beautiful energy. You could be seen as somebody that is very bubbly, positive, and optimistic. You're literally sunshine in human form. You have this golden energy about you, and you have this heart of gold, my pile number 3s, where you love to give love to everybody you love, and whatever you touch turns to gold, like the Midas touch. Some of you could be very musically inclined, musically talented, creative in some way, and I feel like there's something here about you bringing harmony into the world. So let's take a look at your cards. So may we please take a look at pile number 3's reputation, please. You could also be seen as somebody very supportive, somebody that's always expanding and growing. You have like this Jupiter energy to you, where you're seen as very lucky in some way as well. And some of you could be like a little bit more smaller or petite, and you could be known for that in your reputation, but like physically small but strong in the heart. So we have the Nine of Spring in the reverse. This is the Nine of Wands reverse. Then we have the Herald of Winter in the reverse, which is the Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Pile number 3's reputation, please. Pile number 3's reputation, please. We have the Star. Pile number 3's reputation, the Worlds. Some of you may resonate with pile 2 if you were drawn, but if not, that's okay. We have the Knight of Summer, which is the Knight of Cups. One more card, please, Spirit. The Emperor. At the back of the deck, we have the Moon in the reverse. Okay. So I think you're a very private person. I don't think you've always been private, but I think recently you've started to make your plans more private. Because I'm getting that you're somebody that knows that people are sometimes curious for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense. Like they're just trying to get information on you for the wrong reasons. And sometimes people don't always understand what we have going on. So you choose what information you want to share with others, and you choose what you don't want to share, what you want to keep hidden. You could be seen as somebody that is very mysterious, but then with the Moon reverse, I'm kind of getting those that I feel they're insecure, because I feel an energy of a solar plexus wound where I feel like whatever you do, they'd try to poke holes at it, or whatever you do, like it doesn't matter what you do, you're always wrong in these people's eyes, because there's a lot of jealousy they have towards you. Some people, not all. Like very few people are jealous of you, and like you've tried to hide what you share with people. You're more secretive and private about your personal life, about your dreams, about your goals and your plans, until it becomes a physical thing. Because I'm getting that, like, they kind of see you as secretive. They see you as somebody that has something to hide, because you're not sharing it willingly to the world. So it's like they're saying you have something to hide, that you're shady, is what I'm getting with the Moon in reverse. And it's not true at all, but I feel like these are the types of people where if you told them about your plans and dreams and wishes, they try to plant doubt in your mind, or they try to make you feel different for not thinking the same as them, or they try to make you feel as though your wishes and dreams are too big. That's kind of like the vibe I get as examples. You know, like let's say you say to a person, I'm dating a new person, and they're like, oh, I don't think that person's good for you, blah, 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 blah. And they're making up fake things about that person because they don't want you to have love. Like, I'm kind of getting that energy that you have some people that are jealous of you, pile 3, and it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to try find a fault within you, so just be aware of that. But I think it's good that you've started to keep things private. I don't think you've always been that way. I think before you were very honest. like too honest, where you told everything about your life. But maybe some people use that against you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. I think in your reputation, you could have been known to have dealt with certain illusions, fears, and anxiety. You know, certain like things you went through emotionally that you could not share with others. It was like a challenge you went through emotionally that you couldn't share with others, that you didn't feel like you trusted some people enough to share this with them. But I think those more like negative, quote unquote, negative emotions may have affected you, but I think there's something about you going within and kind of like understanding what that is, kind of like understanding why that is. But also with illusions here, I'm kind of getting that people may see you in a false perspective for this pile. Like, people may say things about you that are not true. You may be my pile of people where people spread rumors about you or gossip about you or just assume things about you that are not true based off their own mindset and perspective. With the star here, you're seen as somebody that shines bright, somebody that takes up space, somebody that believes in yourself, has faith in God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and has faith and trust within yourself. You're seen as somebody very magical and intuitive and ethereal. You have this deep connection to the universe, to the cosmos, to the higher realms. You could be seen as very unique and different to other people on Earth, where it's almost like you bring those spiritual energies, those more like magical, fairy-like energies to Earth. You're very out of this world, my pile number 3s. I think with the Page of Swords reverse, there's something in your reputation where people could have seen you as a person with your head in the clouds. People could have also seen you as a person that had certain fears that held you back. And people could also I'm also getting malicious gossip here. Yeah. Like spreading things about you that are not true, rumors. You could have been known in your reputation to not have known how to speak up for yourself or stand up for yourself in the past, because I think you've always been seen as somebody that has and wears your heart on your sleeve, somebody that's very genuine and loving with the Knight of Cups, that you give your heart freely to everyone, at least in the beginning of your life. I find it very hard to describe your energy. It's like people see you, but they find it hard to describe it. People see what it is, but they find it hard to describe. You're a little bit of a Rubik's Cube, my pal 3. You're a little bit hard to figure out. Because it's like some people may see you as dishonest, but then some people may see you as like extremely loving, where it's like you're too good to be true, where it's like, are you really trustworthy because you seem too good to be true? You could have been seen as somebody that was like not much of a planner in the past, but now you plan more and you're a lot more grounded and you have your head in the game. I think people have seen other people be petty and manipulate you in some ways. I think because you shine so bright, I think a lot of people have seen your potential, even at a young age, and you have a reputation for having a lot of potential and having a certain type of energy where you just shine, that people just get very intimidated and jealous by you. I'm getting with the Nine of Wands reverse, the literal meaning, because Nine of Wands upright is like a challenge, but Nine of Wands reverse, I'm kind of getting the literal meaning of like people think you've never gone through any life challenges at all. Like your life has been easy and you just like lived in your own world and like, I don't know how to explain it, but people think your life has just been all sunshine and rainbows your whole life. Like that's kind of what I'm getting, that you've never been through anything hard, that you've never been through trauma. But how do they know? How do they know? I think now you're seen as somebody that is letting go of the projections that were placed onto you, stepping into your authentic truth, being yourself truthfully in the world, loving who you are, knowing who you are, regardless of what people say or project onto you. They're only doing it because they're jealous of you. Pile number 3. And I think now people kind of like see you and your reputation to be somebody that plans, somebody that's very organized, somebody that's going to create a legacy of your own and have very beautiful connections in life due to your beautiful heart. I'm just going to get some last cards. We have the Burning Oak with a Tower. So some people think you have gone through things in life, difficulties in life, but it hasn't been shared with others and that you're healing. So it's very contradictory, but that's coming up. So people could think both, just depending on the person. Their reputation, the Moon in the reverse, and the Six of Spring, Spring, let's just see. This is Wands, 6 of Wands. People see you as very successful, like things just come very easily to you. And like I said, it's like you don't, like people think you don't go through anything bad in life, any challenges in life, some people, where things just come to you easily, where the universe just supports you easily. But then some people know you've been through like bad things in your life and think that the universe is preparing you for something better. Some people know that you've gone through periods of stuckness and disappointment within your life, and that you've had to let go of that emotionally in order to step into this sunshiny kind of energy of happiness and joy and seeing things from such a positive perspective. I think some people just see you in a negative perspective because of their own illusions. And I'm getting here some people like think everybody wants to be around you and like you could be seen as popular or well known or like a lot of people just like you. Where a lot of people gravitate towards you and just like you and put you on a pedestal. That's how you're seen in your reputation. So that's your reputation. I don't know why people are seeing you in such a negative light, because like to me, when I channeled just your energies in the beginning, I was seeing it as much more positive. So Spirit Guides of pile number 3, the Fortitude card, Strength. How are people seeing them based off their reputation? How does their reputation affect how people see them? Let's see what cards we have here. So we have the Knight of Winter, which is the Knight of Swords. We have the Two of Autumn, which is the Two of Pentacles. We have the Two of Winter, which is the Two of Swords. We have the King of Autumn, which is the King of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Winter, which is the Ten of Swords. Awakening at the back of the deck. Let me just check that these are in frame quickly. And then I'm going to analyze what we see here. There's 2 extra cards. Okay, so people see you as somebody that's very strong, grounded. For those that think you went through challenges in life, hardships, trauma that you've healed from, they see you as very strong and very loving, and you lead from your heart. They see you as somebody very sweet too, like where you're just so full of sweetness. You know, you give your love to everybody. You're very helpful and generous, and that's kind of like what I'm getting here. You could be seen as small, but like where people almost underestimate you, but small but powerful. Or people have underestimated you, but you're more powerful than that. And I think that's how people are seeing you now, where like other people have underestimated you and they see you challenge that almost in some way with the choices you make. I think you could be seen as somebody that fights back, where you're not just going to let a person like kind of treat you badly and get away with it. You're fighting back and you're speaking up for yourself. I know it said here you don't speak up for yourself, but that's what I'm getting from the Two of Swords. Since they have like a gunfight here. So I'd say your reputation is like very contradictory, where people think different things of you, and they're not sure which one's true and which one's not. They're not sure what's an illusion and what's true, if that makes sense. People see you, like I said, as very grounded, rational, reliable. They see you as somebody that has a lot of gratitude for life. And people see you as somebody that lives your life with balance. You try to find balance within your life. You try to balance out work and play. And also when it comes to your emotions, you know, you may feel certain things, but you also try to see the joy in life. You also try to see the positivity in life and the gratitude in life. You've been through some really scary moments in life, but you've gotten through it anyway. And I think with awakening here, people see you as a very wise soul, a very old soul. And people think that somehow, like, a lot of people like to pick fights with you for some reason. Like, you just trigger people. I think you mirror back to people what's on the inside of them. So they're really fighting with themselves because you're a mirror to them. It's like they're projecting their own traits onto you. So let's say somebody says you're dishonest. They're projecting their own dishonesty onto you because most people see you as like very sweet and genuine and caring. So it's almost like even though your reputation came through as more negative, how people see you based off your reputation is more positive, where I don't know what it is, if spirit is just protecting you or what it is, but it's somehow like you're much stronger than just your reputation. Like your reputation doesn't just ruin how people see you, if that makes sense, even if it is more false or negative. You could be seen as somebody that, you know, like goes after what you want with strength and determination, and you don't hold back on what you want. And you're here to achieve big things within this lifetime. We have the Eight of Autumn, Eight of Pentacles. You could be seen as a hard worker, somebody that puts in a lot of effort and devotion towards your relationships as well as towards your work and studies and career. We have the Four of Winter, which is the Four of Swords. You've had some cold moments in life, but you've learned to find comfort out of that. That's what I'm getting, because this person's lying in the cold with a blanket. Let's just see what this is. Yeah, they're lying in the cold with a blanket. So they found their sanctuary here, where there's no snow. Let's get some oracle cards, okay? Anything else about how people view pile number 3 based off their reputation, how their reputation affects the way people view them and see them? So we have the butterfly with beauty. I think it's also your beauty that gets people very jealous of you, where people like almost like, oh, here they are gossiping about pile 3 again. Like, really? We have trust. So people see you as trustworthy anyway, even though you're mysterious with the mystery here. And then we have the High Priestess with discernment, prescience, prophecy, and vision. I think some people are smart enough to know that you are trustworthy. They're smart enough to see through the illusion. They can feel your vibe. They intuitively sense your energy, and they sense what people are saying are not true. Even if you're mysterious, even if they don't know the answer, even if it's a risk to trust, even if it's a risk to trust you, it's like a lot of people just trust you anyways, even if your reputation is, even if people say things about you that are not true or rumors, it's like people trust you and love you anyways. I'm getting here with the butterfly. You transform anyway, like even if people underestimate you and say all these things about you, you transform anyway, and you show the beauty of who you are through your love and through the things you do for others, that everybody's going to see through that. Do you get what I mean? And I think with risk, you're someone that is able to take risks from following your intuition, from following your heart. You know, you trust in yourself, you believe in yourself. And with mystery, it's like people are always wondering about you. People are always wondering things about you. Like, is this true? Is this not true? Should I ask pile number 3? That's really what I'm getting here. So this is your reading, pile 3. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.